ridiculously loud. Yeah. So this is the time for any last minute adjustments, making sure that you've got enough space around you, making sure that you've got everything you might need. And then at some point you just take that deep breath, that signal to the body that we're at yoga. We're going to breathe. We're going to focus. And now, without having to change anything, without having to adjust, let's start to notice the length of your breath. And then just notice where that breath is going into. Oh, and then allow the breath into the belly. Allow it to dive down, in and around. Let the belly rise, and on the exhale, just let it fall. And just do that 3 more times. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, you soften. And once those 4 breaths are finished in that area, move up the chest and take the breath wide. So the front of the body gets a little bit narrower, and the width of the body bring out. So the rib cage is expanding laterally on the inhale. You might feel a little bit of pressure if you're wearing a bra. And then once you've done that 4th breath there, take it into the back. You might want to focus on a little bit of space in between the shoulder blades, or maybe a little bit higher up. But there's a little bit of back movement for 4 breaths. And then finally, around about the collarbones. So think about the collarbones just moving slightly apart, filling up the chest. And then dropping it down. And once you finish that, for those of you that have been seated, you might take a little bit of a stretch just to remind the body that there's some movement in the limbs. And then come onto your spine. And I know we're going to get really subtle, but we're going to see where our activation is through our core and also our body mapping. So we're going to see if we can get really subtle with the muscles of the core. So start by just taking some nice deep inhales and then some even deeper exhales. And just notice on the exhale that there's a change of tone in and around the belly. So if you pop your hands there, just notice that there's a change of tone. So even though we're not necessarily lifting anything, just the active exhalation switches on the center. Brilliant. And then keep that awareness of the breath, but pop your hands onto each of your hip bones, so the front of each hip bone. There's lots of volumes happening. Yeah. And then imagine that we're going to bring the hip bones up to the chest or up to the sternum, and the sternum down to the hip bones. So it's a tiny, tiny movement. So Trish, we're actually going to try and just do that, but from the belly. Don't think about moving the torso. Think about moving poof, the muscles of the belly to allow that to happen. So it should feel very, very small and very subtle, but nonetheless like work. So these are our rectus abdominals, those lovely six-pack abs that none of us can see because they're hidden under thermal insulation. And then let that go and just notice how you feel. And then slightly deeper, so the muscles just slightly underneath there. We're going to imagine same hip bones, but rather than the hip bones coming to the chest, we're going to imagine that those hip bones are coming closer in together. So there's like this little doming, like we're trying to make a half moon shape or a little bowl of our belly. So hopefully, if you can't feel it, honestly, don't worry. What I'm asking you is quite detailed. But maybe you get one or two of these three movements and then let that go. Hopefully you feel it somewhere different. And then right hip bone to middle of left ribs. So side of left ribs, but middle. And then imagine those 2 points coming together. But you move them from the center rather than the outsides. So the movement comes from the center. So the obliques start to switch on. And then left hip, right side of the waist. So the opposite sides and same thing. And depending on how you sleep and which side is dominant, you'll probably find one is much easier to get a good proprioception than the other. One you might feel like, yeah, I've got this, I can feel the twist, I can feel the diagonal line, and one you might think, absolutely not. And then just let it go, but notice that this is activated. That whole center feels activated. And then we're going to add on. So now we're going to add some weight onto these movements. Bring the feet off the ground and take the ankles and make a little cross. And the knees are wide. Oh, lovely. Really nice. It's up to you how high you go. If you can aim to get the shoulder blades completely off of the ground, then that will be amazing. And I'll refund everyone's money. When you're ready, exhale. Lift up. See if those shoulder blades just come off the ground. Really nice. Stay here. On an exhale, twist over towards your right from the belly, like that movement we just practiced. Stay here. Inhale, take the arms to that side. So the arms come away from your head and they go across the body. Everything recenters. To the other side, exhale. Inhale, arms come away and they take you deeper into the twist. That's it. Come back into center. Lift the arms by the ear. Last exhale, lift up, squeeze up. And then drop down, head down, toes down. Oh, back down. Really lovely. Just a quick little thing while we're doing it. I wouldn't advise really strong core stuff when you're on the first couple of days of your cycle, because that's already happening just by shifting everything out. So I wouldn't know, you probably don't feel like it, but just as a aside if you're doing a daily practice. Okay. Well, certainly that's my experience anyway. When you're ready, exactly the same thing last time. Ankles hook. Yes, on an exhale, peel and curl up. Poof. Yeah. Next exhale to go over to the right. Inhale, we take the arms and we place both on the outside of that thigh. Really nice. On the exhale, we return to center. We wish it was over. Inhale as we pause. Exhale towards the other side. Really lovely. Nice, stay with it. Inhale, reach the arms, really reach them. Oh, exhale back to the center. Inhale, take the arms and pop them by the ears so they're straight. Exhale, that extra weight feels like death. Oh, and then take it down. Oh, I mean, I'm in a windscreen wiper. So if you want to follow, go for it. If you want a quick bridge, if you want a quick Sphinx, all of those things are going to help lengthen what we've just shortened. Lovely. Really nice. Brilliant. And then I'll give you two options. Either stay in an easy twist, so keep the feet on the floor as you twist to and fro, or to and fro even, or take the legs up and keep them hovering as you twist to and fro. I can't say fro clearly. Throw. Oh, I don't know. Someone help me. Yeah, so up to you. And maybe halfway through you change your mind and you think, actually, I'm going to have a hideous twist or a yummy twist. Are you navigating mats? Yeah. That's it when you're practicing together, isn't it? At some point, you make the worst one your last one. Oh, and then you hope that what's to come is better than what we've just done, but it's not. Those wonderful hands find earth. They're really rich with sensation. You can feel that tone underneath, texture of your mat, and you can feel different pressure points. As you enjoy that feeling of contact with the ground, cat and cow might be inviting you to the party. I wonder what kind of party a cat and a cow party would be. It'd be slightly odd, wouldn't it? I'm going to just do one more before we come into elbow and knee together. Yeah. Find your way into a neutral spine. And then extend your right leg back. Lift the right leg up. Keep everything level. Keep everything level. A little bit higher there. Sammy, yeah, you got it. Nice. Lovely. Looks good. And then from here with that right leg level, lift the left arm. And then super simple. We come into our cat back, but we bring knee and elbow together. Yep. Yes. Yep. Really nice. And then lift it back to center. Brilliant. Drop the knee down, drop the hand down, just check in with the weight. And now exactly the same thing, but now the hand is going to come across, the elbow is going to come across to meet the knee, as opposed to meeting halfway. So we're going to do exactly the same side, but the knee is going to stay where it is. It's just going to hover, and then we're going to bring the elbow. So we take a much deeper twist. Knee stays in line with the hip rather than coming into the center. Weight stays forward over that front hand. Don't go back. Then we hug in. Maybe we look towards that right side as well. Oh, drop the hand, drop the knee, have a little squiggle. Same thing, other side. Left leg extends. Left leg comes up. It's in line. Yeah, really nice. Left arm stays down, right arm. As we exhale, they meet in the middle. So elbow and knee come halfway. It's even. You can exhale as you come underneath and then inhale as you have that lovely long thing. If you want to hold it, of course you can. If you prefer to pulse, you can do that. Either way, make this one your last breath or your last pulse. And then hand down, knee down, have a little check-in with wrists. You might just shake them. Yeah, something so lovely just about shaking the hands, aren't there? And then come back. Same side with that deep twist. Left leg extends, right arm comes forward. Everything's really integrated. Exhale, that knee comes under, but it's a bit shy. It only goes almost as far as the other knee, no further. And then so that elbow has to come like 80% of the way. So really feel that twist. Make sure you're not leaning to that back knee, and instead you're leaning through the front arm, and then dome through the belly. So lift the belly away from the floor rather than let it be free. And then hand down, foot down, just Ardha Mukha Svanasana, just down dog. I'll have a little check-in. Oh, if your calves feel like mine, I have no idea why, you can have a little walk out. If your shoulders feel like there's not much space today, make them wider, turn them slightly out, and walk your feet a little bit in. Lovely. And then inhale, look forward to the front of your mat. And exhale, enjoy your first forward fold of the evening. Hello, forward folds. Lovely. From here, inhale, flat back. Yeah. Have a little check-in with the spine. And then rock back chair. We're just going to do one straight forward. Inhale, lift and look up. And a couple cheeky ones. Exhale, that wonderful pause where we feel either a breath or the beat of our heart or a temperature change. And then inhale, lift and look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Really, really nice. Stay connected to the breath and connected to the belly. This is where it's going to get different. Chair pose on the exhale. Okay. Inhale, press together the hands so we really find the center. As we exhale, twist towards that right leg. And try and twist as much from the belly as you possibly can, not just from the shoulders twisting. Once they inhale, once more, press the hands together. So we stay connected. Next exhale, we lean a little bit forward and we see if the upper arm connects to the right thigh. That's it. Lift the belly away. As we inhale, press all the weight through that right foot. And on the exhale, either lift the left heel or entirely lift that left foot off of the ground. And then place the leg down, hands onto the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Lift the arms or check in. Exhale, hands into the heart center. Inhale, lift and look up. You can do whatever you want with the arms. They don't have to follow me. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Same again, but on the other side. Exhale, chair. Inhale, we press through the fingers, press through the palms. Exhale, twist towards the left. Remember to get that twist through the torso. Inhale, we once again press through the fingers. On the exhale, we fold a little deeper and we twist across. Yes. Try and make sure the knees are even. Take a look down and make sure they're on the same plane. On the inhale, press through the left side, draw that left hip up and in. And on an exhale, either tiptoe or lift it off. Yes. Nice. Drop it down. Lovely, Melanie. Hands onto the thighs. Straighten it up. Inhale, Samastiti. Exhale. Oh. Forward fold. Oh. Inhale. Just pause. Exhale, right leg back. Right knee down. Oh, okay. Lovely. From here, right arm comes up. I'm going to do those little figures of eights. Depending on whether you're going to whack your friend, you can make them as big as you want. Obviously, you're navigating that front leg. Yeah. And you can start turning your hand as well, so the hand goes and follows that movement of the shoulder. Really lovely. I feel like we're like flamenco dancers or something. And at some point that enjoyment stops, we just take the arms up. And on the exhale, we do those 18 things. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, send the weight forward into a forward fold. Yes. Oh, inhale as we pause here, other side. Exhale, left leg back, left knee down. Yeah. Take that left arm in front. And once again, we have those swirly figures of 8. So we're trying to just get a little bit more juice through the shoulder, but also a little bit of concentration through the brain. Yes. Yeah, so get that's it. Nice, Louise. Yes, really nice. Yeah, nice. Nice, Trish. And at some point, inhale, take the arms up. As we exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knee, fly forward, forward fold. Inhale, press through, come all the way up, Samastiti. If you want a little bit more of a back bend, take it. And then exhale, hands drop down. Wow, okay. So we're going to make sure you've got space on both sides. Just before we come into our pretty hardcore balance, we're just going to focus the breath and focus the brain. Both hands at once, figures of 8, same direction. Try not to think about it too much. Let the body and the brain just connect. At some point, you can start to slow it down and then start to do the opposite direction, but both left and right arms the same direction. That's it. Oh, yeah. If you start to feel a little bit joyous, of course you can make it bigger. Should be starting to feel a little bit fatigued in a nice way. And then drop the arms. Oh, I'm so not looking forward to teaching you opposite figures of 8 because I have to say I still haven't mastered it. But that's where we're going. Okay, grab your chair. I'm gonna do my chair this side so that you can still see. Your chair is going to be to your right side because that's where we're going to need most of the balance. That's it. So remember, if you're doing this on your own and you're swapping sides, chair is the standing leg side. From here, lift the left leg up. Brilliant. And then take both hands across into a twist. Really lovely. From here, you might decide to bend the elbow just like we did in chair. I'm going to stay up for you, Louise W. That's it. Oh, she's there. Okay, that's a nice easy bit. From here, start to drop the knee. If you've got that chair, you can use that chair to support you. At some point, the standing leg starts to bend. Once it's bent, send the weight back and keep it bending. The left arm, so opposite arm, comes across, and upper arm, or anything you can get, connects to the upper thigh. Once there, shift the weight back again, and then floating leg, kick it up as if it's trying to get to the ceiling. Probably what's happened is that standing leg is straightened, remind it that it needs to be bent. Yes, Jem, nice. And then come all the way back up. Whew, to stand. We made it. Yes, it's seriously strong. You can take this, arms are open, or you can bend the elbow. Just depends on how comfortable your hip flexors are with that much flexion. And then same again, we drop the knee. At some point, it starts to be in line with our standing knee. We start bending the standing knee. We remind it that we'd like it to set back. Opposite arm across the body. We connect upper arm and upper thigh. So we're in a deep twist, turning to the right. Once we've done that, we once more remind ourselves we're meant to be leaning onto the heel and then kick the floating leg up to the ceiling. Oh, and then come once more up into that bent knee balance. Wowza. You'll hear if that feels nice. You'll hear if that feels more interesting. Last time. Once we've done this last time, we're going to hold a warrior 3. We start to drop the floating knee, bend the standing. I've got my chair so I can really fit into it. I shift my weight back, arm across. I once again shift my weight back, remind myself that I'm meant to be bending, and then kick the leg up. And then come all the way back up, bend knee twist. Yowza. Circle the shoulders. Maybe take hold of that back of the chair and enjoy what would not normally be enjoyable, warrior 3. But by contrast, it feels nice. Really nice, last breath. Lovely. Nice, Sammy, bend the front knee. Send the weight back. Crescent lunge. Arms up by the ears. You can press the palms to the ceiling. And then send the weight down, hands down. Step back briefly, plank. Drop onto your knees. If, like me, your chair is kind of in the way of your practice, move it. And then if you want to have some company for your plank, do so. Remember, this is just a 30-second one. Wherever you are, whether you're doing music or what, don't start just yet, because don't forget, we're doing our 4-way breath. So before our plank, we breathe into the belly. We breathe into the rib cage, the sides of the ribs, we go out. We enjoy that breath into the back. And then we experience that breath in the chest. Once we feel a little bit calmer, a little bit slower, we take position. Literally, I mean, it's a long-ish, but we're not going to be knackered. And then we come into whatever plank we want to, just for 30 seconds. So it's just a warming plank as opposed to a knackering one. Yes, really nice. Lovely, keep pushing the earth away, we're halfway through. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees if they're not already. Send the hips down, untuck the toes. Allow the elbows to be wide and just rest the head onto the hands. Take a couple more breaths before we come into Cobra. And then I'm going to give you the option for arms by the ear, locust. Only if you know that locust is a really familiar friend and you don't have any issues going on with the spine. So take the arms by the ear, lift them really high, then lift the legs and hold for 3 breaths. Keep lifting. Yes, just like we did with the front of the belly, imagine the back of the body getting shorter to help that lift. That's it. And then exhale, forearms drop down, we come into Sphinx. Remember, we've got that twist, and then we're going to be facing the back of our mat. You don't have to stay facing the back of your mat if it doesn't work for you for any reason. Right arm lifts, it dives across the body and underneath and behind the elbow. Once you're there, roll away from the arms, and you should find yourself on your back. Or you might find yourself smushed into something. Once there, have a little rock, and either rock to stand or stand however you want. Yeah, nice. That's it. Nice use of arms. Lovely, Louise W. So Sammy, we were here. We were literally rocking to stand here. The idea being that we're going to take some hops, but we're going to take hops in an uncomfortable place because we're looking at things that we don't normally look at when we hop, but you don't have to. So if you want a little bit of a challenge, have a couple of hops looking at something unfamiliar, or have a couple of hops looking at something familiar, or have a couple of three-legged dogs with a focus on shifting the weight forward as you lift the leg. Your choice. Yes. Oh, lovely. Nice float there. Well, it's lovely work. Trish, don't knack yourself. Whatever you're doing, nice. I mean, it's on your last one. Nice, Louise. Yes. Yeah, go easy, lady. And then, if those of you that are facing the back of your mat, walk your hands to your feet, spin your feet and your hands back to center, everyone facing the front of the mat. Oh, gratefully make it into a flat back. Exhale into chair. Inhale, press through the feet, lift all the way up, Samastiti. Exhale, we might feel a little bit more of a faster pace beat going on there. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Let it go, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push through the feet, lift up. Other side, grab your chair. So we're now thinking about the left-hand side. I might do it from a different angle so that you've got... Okay, so you want the chair, back of the chair to your left, because that's the tricky bit, or the trickier bit. From here, don't worry about the breath, just keep it steady. Right leg comes up. Both arms go across. You might be plenty happy there. You might be interested to bring the leg higher, which is going to allow you to bend the elbow, so upper arm to upper thigh. You let those go. Floating leg starts to drift behind. As it does so, standing leg bends. Once it's bent, you remind yourself that you're trying to keep the weight back. Float standing leg a little bit higher as you take right upper arm to left thigh. And then kick up, last thing, kick up. Floating leg, keep it bent, keep it bent, Sammy, both legs bent. That's it, and then kick that bent leg. And then undo it. Whew. Twice more, twist, wherever you want it. Take it into center. Floating leg starts to travel behind. Standing leg starts to bend. We remind us to shift the weight back. Arm comes across. We once again remind ourselves that that standing leg is bent. And then kick the floating leg up. And then all the way back. Last one. Take a break whenever you need. This is really, it's strong. Center with control. Knee bends. I'm going to try and shift my hips into the center as opposed to letting that left hip go left. Take my twist and then kick up. Oh, and then come all the way to stand, allowing the feet to have solace on the earth. Feel free to take the hips in a little figure of 8. They've worked extremely hard. Okay. Wherever you want to take those breaths. Now it might be that you want to take those breaths standing. And even though you're not going to get as big a breath, this is going to probably be more useful for you in daily life. So those of you that have been doing 4-way breath for a while, you might have a little play with what it feels like standing so that when you need it, you have access to it. And without any need to rush, you could come to your hands and knees. We are possibly looking at a 2-minute plank, and this will be our last plank, all right? So this literally is. So you can power on through knowing that it's literally it. Okay. So if you're up for it, you can take as many breaks, as many knee bends as you need. 3, 2, 1. You can change the position of your hands and your feet, and we're there. Really lovely. Keep going. Use the breath. More than halfway through, more than halfway. This is it. This is the last one of the class. Just a minute and then nothing more. Yep, take a break if you need, knees down, very brief Charles, undo it, and then come back up. That's it. Push the earth away, use the breath. Last 10, 9, 8, just in time, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Whoa, 2 minutes. Just checking. Just checking. Those of you like me who took at least 3 breaks, wonderful. Those of you that didn't, equally wonderful. Merlin, as usual, came in, perfect timing. I mean, honestly, you know, perfect timing, hey? I shook that pack of dreamies. Up he came to rescue his bestie. Hey? Okay. Notice where you're feeling it. Plank is pretty much full body, but obviously specifically certain areas feel a little bit tired, a little bit warmer. Just check in where those areas are. If you need to grab a drink, I would absolutely understand. Oh, Merlin's drinking my water now. Oh my God. He heard it and he was like, oh, okay, you know, obviously you're offering me water. Right, off your pops. Oh, sorry, darling. Gently slide onto your belly. However you want to get there. If there's some muscle still that we haven't knackered, you can chaturanga. Yep. When you get there, have a little feel in. How does everything feel? It might be that you decide the locus with your arms by your side is a better option. Otherwise, arms lift by the ears. You lift them a little bit higher and then lift the chest off the ground. So the arms are by the ear, yep, and then lift the legs off the ground. Yes, check in. It's a super strong locus. Locus is strong anyway. Try and get a little bit more lift of the thighs and then shorten the back line. So just like we did at the start with the core, imagine shortening the back line. You should get a little bit more lift. And then let it go. Forearm to the floor, simply Sphinx. Yep. This time we're going to lift the left arm, the left hand. It dives behind the elbow. We then roll away from the arms and we find ourselves probably off of our mat, looking at, oh my God, looking at Merlin. Oh, thank you. Thank you, darling. Once there, we can either rock or we can roll over to the side. Yep. We're going to hit his tail. And then once there, we might think, right, do I have a little play and play with my brain, as it were, with these hops? So it's going to be a little bit harder to hop, and that's fine. Yes, still press down. Really press down, yes, and draw the belly in to support you. Yes, so start off in that cat shape. Not you. Yes, nice. Do one or two more. Nice, okay. And then those of you that are facing the back of your mat, walk your hands to your feet. Simply spin. Forward fold, head draped, belly draped. Or inhale, flat back. Exhale, chair. Inhale as we press through the feet and lift all the way up. Exhale, hands into the heart. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, come down. Once down, think about whether you want that chair or not. We're just going to do one of those little twist balances. So you might decide for this round, you're going to have a little see what happens without the chair. Either way, come to stand. Right leg stays down, the left leg lifts. We take that twist and we decide whether we make that a little bit more forward folded. Yep, take your time, you got it. Left leg is up, right leg is down, we're taking a twist. That's it. From here, I've lost it already. We drop the floating leg, we bend the standing, we take our time, take a twist. Once we're connected, push in. Floating leg pushes up. And then we come all the way back up, twisted. Nice. And then simply transform it, warrior 3. Bend the front knee, set the back foot down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Lift up through the shoulders, lift up the hip points, let everything stretch out after that incredibly hideous plank. And then drop the hands down, just plank. Weight onto the right hand side, side plank just briefly. That's it. Press into the outside of the toes. Hands down, plank. Knees up or knees down. Chaturanga or roll. Inhale, cobra, arms wherever you want. One more breath in cobra. And then exhale, Sphinxington. Right hand lifts. Goes underneath, behind that left elbow. You got it? Yes. And then roll away. Once there, a rock or a roll onto your side, whatever. And then just 2 hops, either with the same leg or with one left and one right. And then walk the hands back. Twist the feet. Oh, forward fold. Oh, almost there. Really nice. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bending the knees, chair. Inhale, press, lift. Exhale, hands into center. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, spill down, forward fold. Really nice, really nice. Soften. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. You can draw the arms up if you want to back bend or take them by your side for mountain. Okay, left leg doing the lifting. If you want that chair, go for it. We're just going to do one, so you might see where the balance takes you. Right leg comes up. That's it. Take that twist wherever you want to be. Gently drop the floating leg. Bend the standing knee. Take that twist. And then kick up. Floating leg. And then back up to a standing twist. Really nice. Lovely jump. Lovely Trish. Really nice. And then simply warrior 3. Arms can be by the ears for this one. It's like our little finisher. Yes. Nice, Melanie. Bend the back leg. Lift the arms. Crescent lunge. Oh, once again, lift out the shoulders. And then hands come down. Whoop. Just plank. Just for a second. Over to the left hand. Lift the right arm, side plank just for a second. Drop the arms, knees up or knees down. Slide onto your belly or chaturanga. Set your arms up for whatever locust you want. Lift up in your locust. Take another breath, shortening through the back line. Imagine shortening. Yes, look at all those lifts. And then exhale. Sphinx. Oh, take an extra breath in Sphinx and see if you can just let the butt cheeks release. I can see some butt cheeks going, oh my God, what's next? Oh my God, I must be like a rock. Let them get a little bit wiggly. Left arm lifts. It comes behind that elbow. You turn away from the arms. I can't do it because I'm going to bowl Merlin down. And then you find yourself on your back. Oh, and you wish, is it time for Shavasana? No. Have that little rock. Don't get on my lap. Oh. And then to stand. Set up for your hops. And don't forget, I say hops, but this could be any airborne. So it might be that you prefer jumps. Louise, you're doing super well. Just make sure you still fit. Yeah, look at her go, hey? That's it. Just one on each side, then walk the hands to the feet. Do some little spinny trons. Okay. And then from here, push strongly through the feet and let that lift the rest of your body up. Okay. See how you feel. I'm going to offer you 2 minutes. And that is because everything is ready to go. So if you're practicing some sort of arm balance, whatever that might be, you're pretty much warmed for most of them. Apart from anything on our forearms, really. So if you want to do something with a pincher, then do a couple of dolphins. And it's up to you where you want to take these 2 minutes. You might even want to do legs up the wall for 2 minutes and then come join for the rest of the stretches and the restorative. You might do anything against the wall. An L up the wall, you might use the wall to do a longer handstand, whatever. As usual, Merlin's decided that he's going to be right next to the wall, so I wish I could demo those things, but I can't. But I know all of you know what we're talking about. So your 2 minutes are kind of starting from now. Legs at the wall, nice easy twists, L at the wall, handstand hops at the wall. If you've got a partner and you feel confident and you feel warm enough and you've been practicing, you can use that partner to get you up and to stabilize you and your balance if you wish. Merlin, can you be my demo? No, he says really busy. All right. So literally 2 minutes. Yes. Lovely. I think you need to walk in a tiny bit closer, Jem. Tiny bit closer. Maybe I might be wrong. Oh, you could have walked your hands in without having to. Next time, walk your hands in without taking your legs down. You've got the strength to do that. Yep, belly stays lifted, Melanie. Belly really drawing the belly. Draw that belly in, hip points towards the, sorry. That's it. Nice. Push the floor away, Jen. That's it. And then come onto tiptoes of the foot that's on the wall. Yes. Brilliant. And whatever you're doing, you've got about another 60 seconds. That might include a break. If your leg's up the wall, you can indulge in that 4-way breath. Yeah, Melanie, walk back with your hands, walk back towards the wall. That's it, a little bit more. Core stays tight, stay there, straighten up the legs. Nice, belly stays lifted. Take the hips over the shoulders. So walk the legs down. Nice, really, really good. I know I gave you so many things and it's knackering. All right, wherever you've been, legs up the wall on the L, which is the opposite, basically. If you're on legs at the wall, you might decide to stay there. Life might be utterly glorious and you might decide to stay there, dripping the weight and the circulatory system down towards the hips. If you're ready to do something different, we're going to start cross-legged. Don't sit on my lap. Little bit. Once we're cross-legged, I'll even do the first bit. Let's move this chair away. We're just going to give ourselves some space in the arms. Okay. Take one arm up. Bend at the elbow. Yeah. And then snuggle them in. Press the fingertips into the soft flesh. And then draw that flesh towards the elbow bone. Oh, or I should say bones. Try not to dip the head. If you can, keep everything upright. Yeah. And then same arm that was in the air comes across the body and you sneak it in. Have a little play with where the elbow is in relationship to the shoulder. And you might be happier with it a little bit lower down. That's a little bit of a less of ask, especially when we've just done a lot of stuff with that incredible complex deltoid. And then drop the shoulders. Oh, same thing, other side. Other arm comes up. Palm sneaks behind and in between the shoulder blades. Other arm lifts. And once again, you push into the soft bit of the flesh. So the bottom of the triceps, and you pull them up. Yeah. Once again, imagine the chest coming forward. Yeah. And that same arm that comes in the air goes across. You encircle it, and then just find the angle that works for you. I know I often say in line, but we've done so much stuff. It might feel better just to be a little bit softer with it. Whenever you next exhale, both arms drop down. There's that sweet sensation of having a little bit more room to maneuver. And then just take one hand up towards the upper traps and give them a massage. If a massage is enough, great. if when you get to a really kind of a point when you make your eyes go whoop, then you can stay in that point, providing even pressure with the fingers, but take the head away. So it's like the movement, the stretch becomes the massage. And then before you come on to side 2, have a little moment in stillness, a little moment in quiet, and feel side to side. And then on to side 2. If, like me, your playlist has suddenly got totally random, you might want to put something a bit more. Oh my word. Come on then. Pain in the butt, aren't you? Once you've done, as we're in a seated position, you might just have a little bit of a sideways stretch. So one arm comes down to the floor. It can be as close or as farther away as you want. Arm comes up and over. Once it's there, see if you can locate the shoulder blade, and from that shoulder blade, lift the shoulder blade away from the hip. Oh. And then open up the chest a little bit and head wherever feels comfortable. If it feels nice just to bend and straighten the arm that's closest to the floor, you can do that. And at some point you draw everything up. Sides of the waist really work hard in the plank. You might not necessarily feel it. Other arm drops down. Other arm comes up. Once you're there, find that shoulder blade on your body mat and lift it away from the hip. Once there, imagine just lifting the chest a little bit. And maybe dropping the elbow, maybe not all the way, and lifting. And then coming all the way back up. Whew. Take an easy twist to one side. It's like the nicest twist we've done all night. And because we've done so many active twists, this easy twist might feel a little bit different. You might feel there's a lot more range. And then to the other side. We're starting to cool down fairly quickly. When you feel ready to come and take, I thought there was a spider gone down my chest and I was a little bit perturbed. It was just a hair. Oh, that would have been funny. I've lost my train of thought. When you feel ready to meet the ground, you feel a little bit ready just to slow things right down. This is the time when it's nice to kind of turn lights off. I'm going to message Michael to do mine because Melon's on my lap. Definitely the time to change playlist, maybe blow your nose, put socks on, get a cuddle buddy. I can see lots of cuddle buddies have come in, haven't they? They know it's time. They're like, oh. What? I just text Michael the word help now. I don't say what it is. Just say help. I could be on fire. Yeah. Oh no. Like, I'm happy with him, but can you turn the lights off so that my lovely yoga friends aren't blinded? Yes, that means you're going to have to be in shot. So just turn it down, because if you turn it off, it will have to be plugged into the bedroom because it will reset. That's it. Thank you.
This one.
No, that's fine. Can you get a blanket off the chest and just drape it over my that's it. Over my feet because I've got cold feet. Yes. So once your butler has made everything as you'd hoped for. Oh, I love the double blanket. That's so cute. Just check in. Is there somewhere on your body that just feels like it needs something extra? I would probably say after all of that cool work that Baddha Konasana with a block either underneath, and now Melon gets off, either underneath your thighs or underneath your feet is going to be wonderful. But it might just be that you're really, really super soft in something like a supported bridge, or even a very, very gentle pigeon. And we've got about maybe 2.5 minutes before we think about those 4 rounds of breath that we've been doing. And if pigeon on your back is doing it for you, brilliant. I was kind of thinking pigeon on the front only so we have a little bit of space going through hip flexors, TA, transverse abdominis, and the front seam of the body. If you want to think about changing posture or coming to the other side, if it's a left and a right side one, then probably about now is a good time. And if you haven't already thought just about rocking the head a little bit or just turning it from side to side, it might be a nice addition to these really soft, really restful poses. And just very, very gently start to think about where you want to take that pranayama, that breath practice, whether it will feel nicer to be in a laying down position. Maybe you decide to lay down with the knees bent, maybe a bolster or a blanket rolled up underneath the knees just to keep the back a little bit at ease. And even though we've been doing that 4-way breath in a certain sequence, if something works better for you, take it. And all we're going to do is once we're settled and once we feel a little bit softer and a little bit slower, we're simply going to take the breath from place to place to place to place. It might be that you need a blanket over you or a blanket under you. Might be that once again you turn off an extra light. And you just rest the whole body onto the earth. You allow everything to be a little bit heavier. And as much as you're able, you soften the center of the body. You might close the eyelids and let the colours and the sights of the day just rest. You might find a little bit of room in between the upper and the lower jaw. And finally, you might just take the head from side to side and then select a place that feels natural and neutral. And then start to find the breath. Belly rises and falls. Rib cage expands. Shoulder blades part. And chest lifts. I'm going to put myself on mute and come back in 5 minutes. wherever you are on the round of breath. Make this one the last one. And then gently allow the everyday, usual, automatic breath to return to the belly, or to return to the body somewhere else. And start to ease through some movements. And again, you might need those little yawning breaths to start that rolling wave. And then softly roll over. If you're upright, just gently slope the shoulders around the back. Everything soft. And then use an inhale to pull you either up or a little bit more straight. When you get to an upright position, inhale. Allow the arms to glide through the sky. And then re-earth them. Inhale all the way up to the moon. Exhale back down to the grass. Inhale, left and right sides join and meet in your heart center. Namaste. Namaste, little one. Well done. I could not manage that 2-minute plank. Oh, I'm gonna don't talk because